You ever accidentally record a 20-minute video without your mic on? Because that's what I just did. And anyway, click that like button for the hell of it because I've now done this video now. This will be twice. And I want to make sure you guys are actually enjoying videos like this. Today we're asking the question, should I be selling or am I selling my Bitcoin? I'll show you guys the original starting point here. Not that one. That's right now. We on this YouTube channel, you can still go look at the video, why I'm buying Bitcoin and what you should do too. Back in November of 22, I spent about $16,500. That was my investment to buy Bitcoin. I bought 1.0186 Bitcoin at that time for a little over $16,500. That's what I invested. And I was scrutinized out the gate from Bond 6677. He even unsubscribed. He said, "Good luck with your gambling. It's going to zero." I love timestamps. I'm happy that he didn't delete it. A lot of you guys have come to my beck and call. In fact, you know what? How are you feeling today? Check my newest video. You are famous. I want all of you guys to go to that video and light them up, actually. It's kind of funny. Anyway, Bond and I have a little battle. Not that I care, but it's funny to me. Anyway, Bitcoin today, congratulations to all the Bitcoin holders, has hit a brand new all-time high. Over $109,000, $109,500-ish. Total all-time high. That eclipsed the high of January 20th, 2025. And that put my current portfolio, as of when I screenshotted this a few hours ago, at $110,473. Imagine knowing you took 16.5 and in less than 3 years it turned to $110,000. Listen, I know inflation exists, but you can do a lot of damage. You can do a lot of good things investment-wise with $110,000. And that's the beauty of investing. And I'm not showing this to brag or be cocky by any stretch of the imagination, but rather to educate you on my thought process, because right now I'm still in the trade. I could still technically screw this thing up. But today we're going to talk about why I have been convinced that we would see an all-time high again, which we did, and why I still hold that position. So I want to first start by updating you guys. I got to go to logarithmic format for this. Updating you guys with the current power law. You guys have seen this on my channel before, but where do we stand as it is set with power law? Well, as you guys can see, currently fair market value is $104,718. That's fair market value, meaning buyers are happy to buy it at $104,000 right now. Sellers are happy to sell it to them at $104,000. Fair market value is when both parties are actually happy. As you can see, we got above fair market value end of last year, early this year. We're now back above again. But right now, every cycle, as you can see, here's our previous cycle, we reached prices in the yellows and the oranges and the reds as it pertains to our power law, which is just a deviation from our fair market value. We reached it last cycle. We reached it the cycle before that. And you can see substantially, sorry if it looks laggy on your screen, it's just because this indicator takes up so much space. You can see again, we came well above that, not only fair market value, but the yellow, the oranges, and the reds. So the first thing from a conviction standpoint of going higher is we just haven't yet reached that sort of euphoria of yellow, oranges, and reds. People think it's high right now because the price is high, but percentage-wise, it's starting to slow down, which is what we'll slowly see over time. We'll see it grow at a smaller percentage, but one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, and even though it's a smaller percentage, the dollar value is actually getting greater and greater and greater. Think about it like this. Right now, we're able to swing the value of Bitcoin by $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 in any given month, and nobody bats an eye. The headlines aren't even picked up in the news. But reverse course, 5, 10 years ago, we weren't even worth that amount of money. One Bitcoin wasn't even worth 20 grand 10 years ago. So you kind of got to think about it like that. That's why percentage-wise it's getting worse, quote unquote. It's law of diminishing returns. But dollar-wise, it's getting much and much better. That's why one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, or a tenth of a Bitcoin is a tenth of a Bitcoin, which is why it's so important that you just own it and hold it. So that's number one. Pricing-wise, we just haven't reached the top of our area that I care about, yellows and oranges and reds. Now, you might be asking, where does that stand? Well, currently, that's 136K for the yellow, 157 for the orange, and 188 for the red. That's where that currently stands as of right now. Now, fast forward, which I'm about to talk about the timing of this cycle, but fast forward towards the proposed end of the cycle, which is the end of this year, everything changes. Your yellow becomes more like, let's do the end of this year, like December. Yellow becomes more like 165. Orange becomes more like 192. And red becomes more like 230. That's insane. So that's a completely different number pool than these three right now. These three right now are taking into account if it just went up today like this. That's the three colors. If it just started to roll. But the longer it takes, the higher this all goes. That's the magic of power law. It's just slowly going up because adoption, just like a power law curve, and growth, adoption is slowly going up. So that's number one. The second thing I want to look at is our timing. So I just want to read this out loud if you've never seen it. Think about the timing of where we're at right here. Ready? Transition from bear to bull. Transition to full bull. Top, bottom. Transition from bear to bull. Transition to full bull. Top, bottom. Transition from bear to bull. Transition to full bull. Your brain just said it, didn't it, in the video? As you're watching this, your brain was just like, top. Yep, because that's the next part of the cycle if it continues to follow the cycles. And guess what? It already has. We're already at a brand new fresh high. It is still following the same cycle. The next thing that happens is the top. So we know timing-wise we're here. The next thing that happens is the top. The question is price-wise. As you can see, price-wise, we're just a little above fair market value. We're not way above fair market value. We're not in the yellows, the oranges, and the reds, and that's why on its first, this is on its face value at front. That's why I still think that this can go higher. However, there's more to this. I'm going to delete everything. What more to this is first of all, I just want you to see just down here so you can kind of get an idea. Look at the price. Transition from bear to bull. Transition to full bull. Top. Look at the top. Bottom. Look at the bottom. Transition from bear to bull. Transition to full bull. Top. Look at the top. And there's where I bought. Look at the bottom. Transition from bear to bull. Transition to full bull. Top. Guess what? We're working our way towards our top. And then after that, again, will be bottom. And again, you can think about this as cycles, but really good timing cycles. Where did the top happen? December of 2017. Where did this top happen? December of 2021. And by the way, when I say top, I mean top of the spiral. Physical price top happened in November of 21 here and December of 21 here. So if we have any indication there, that means Q4 of this year, we're probably looking at a top. But then you can also say, okay, well, where was the bottom? Well, the bottom happened in January of 19 here, price-wise and timing-wise. Actually, December of 18, price-wise. Timing-wise, January of 19 from the spiral. And over here, we look at the bottom. The actual bottom happened November of 22. So what does that also mean? Well, that means that when you look at this in a timing, don't worry about price, purely timing, and you draw it from here over to here, for about a year, 362 days. You draw it from here over to here, about a year, 378 days. That means that once we reach our top, which is, it seems to be bound over the next, call it 6 months, you're going to be looking about a year out towards the end of 26, early 27, defined bottom, getting ready for the next cycle. These are things that I'm following because it's important for your mindset to kind of set realistic expectations. If you don't know where you're at in the cycle, it's going to be hard to figure out where you can go. And the only reason I'm looking at this cycle, guys, you might say, well, this is just a cycle. It could deviate from it. You're exactly right, but it hasn't. Everything's right till it's wrong, and for now it's right, so I'm going to continue to follow it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But for now, in this cycle, even if it ended here, all-time high, it's still called the top in terms of this transition to full bull, looking for the top. We're still right here. It's just price hasn't reached high enough. But now let me give you the real reason why I'm still holding my Bitcoin. I'm going to open up the liquidity model. I don't need this on bottom. This is kind of obsolete. And I want to now show you, first of all, get your bearings. Red represents power law. Fair market value, not power law. This is power law. Fair market value. Bottom represents the oversold side. Top represents the top. Again, your goal is to buy near the bottom, sell near the top. Basically, accumulate, sell off. Accumulate, sell off. Accumulate, sell off. You get it. But do it as it coincides with our timing cycles. But here's the kicker. The pink represents global liquidity. M2, money supply. Why is that important? Well, the last run, here was the bad part about our last bull run late last year into January. It was going up in price. That's price. But what was liquidity doing? It was going down. These are not inversely correlated things. These are correlated. When price goes up, price goes up. When monetary supply goes up, price goes up. When monetary supply holds off, price holds off. And again here. And so price was going up, but then we saw liquidity start to come down. We knew this had to sell off. As it started to sell off big time, it finally reached a point where we're like, dang, like monetary money supply has now been going up for some time. It's no wonder it's turned back around. So now what am I looking for? Well, right now I'm looking for, notice right here, I'm looking to see, will this continue higher or will this continue to go sideways and maybe start to go lower? Because this is only going to follow it as much as it can. If monetary money supply keeps going higher, this can go higher a little bit easier. But if it starts to taper off again, this is going to have a hard time doing that, and it'll start tapering off. That's what we've seen. As it's gone down, price has gone down. As it's gone up, price has gone up. And we've seen this repetitively over and over and over. So, for me, there's 3 reasons why I'm still remaining in this Bitcoin position, and we've taken successfully $16,500 to over $110,000 now. Live on this YouTube channel. Pretty cool. Number 1, the actual power law price has not yet reached its yellow, oranges, and reds. Number 2, the timing of the cycle says that towards the end of the year is the better play for the peak, not right now. And number 3, global supply has been going up and up and up. And right now, you look at global supply, well, look where global supply was at the previous all-time high. It was down here. You could go back here, too, and say, wow, we've reached a higher peak than that. It's no wonder price is higher. So will that go higher is the question. Ultimately, guys, the question is this. What if you sell, what do you plan to do with your money? Because at the end of the day, the reason you bought Bitcoin was to get out of a broken system. At least that's what I would assume your reason was. Your exit was Bitcoin. You're leaving a system that's as valuable as this sticky note on my webcam, a piece of paper that they can print, and more and more and more of it, causing all these assets to inflate, causing your groceries to inflate, causing this plastic cup to inflate, causing prices of iPhones to inflate, causing my hat to inflate. Everything costs more money. Why? Not because it's that much more valuable, but because there's that much more supply. Bitcoin is your currency that has a capped supply, 21 million coins, and a lot of them are already burned or lost. So there's even less than that. And so your exit was from the fiat system into Bitcoin. If you plan to exit Bitcoin, my question is, into what? I'm not saying don't do it, because I might do it. But I'm not exiting to just say, now I have 110 grand in the bank and I'm going to sit on it and feel like I'm I'm doing better than I was financially. No, I would need an actual investment play. Silly people will sell it and go buy something stupid. Go out to the club, go buy designer clothes, go on vacation. That's for silly people. Smart people will say, man, I just made 110 grand in Bitcoin. Oh, I have access to a multifamily real estate play or a flip house or a syndication of something, or I'm going to invest it into, something to cash flow me, or I'm going to build my own business. I don't care what it is. But remember, the reason you got out of the dollar into Bitcoin was for this reason. And so now, if you're going to exit this train that you're on, you got to exit it for something. Don't let your money die. Don't let your money die, because as I'm talking, this thing is worth $109,610. That's pretty special when you think about it. We are pushing all-time highs as I talk on this video, which is fun that I caught 109,700 on a live YouTube. I'm not live, but on a YouTube video. So what's your exit? So as always, if you guys get value out of these videos, please, can you please do something for me? Share it with your friends. Click that like button and comment down below your biggest takeaway of today's video. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't already. Fun fact, 80% of you watching this have not subscribed because you don't sign in. Do your boy a favor. Sign in your account. Click the subscribe button to help me gain some more subscribers. I want a cool YouTube plaque. I know that's kind of like selfish of me. That's all I want out of my YouTube channel. At the end of these videos, you don't always hear me saying, now buy my course. It's not in there. It's nowhere to be found. I just do it because I love it. I spend money. It costs me money. The last 60 days, I've spent over $3,000 on YouTube video editing for these nice videos. And you want to know what I've made? I guarantee it's not $3,000, $4,000. Let's see what we've made. YouTube revenue for my channel. Analytics. And estimated revenue for the last 90 days. $176. Spent over $3,000 on editing for $176, and only 433 of you have subscribed. Come on, you guys can do it. So I appreciate you guys as always watching this video. Let me know what you think of my comments. Maybe you think I'm silly, maybe you don't. Regardless, I hope you're trading safe, and congratulations to all the Bitcoin holders as we are now at another brand new all-time high. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.